Hey everyone, so today I am here with a video that has been requested a few times and I have finally built up the courage to make it, and it is the controversial parenting tag. I say that I need to build up the courage to make this video because I feel like with what I say I may offend people, and I don't want to because I don't expect anyone to tell me how to parent, and I don't expect to tell anyone how to parent. I don't want to put my opinions on people and sway their initial decisions with their children or their soon-to-be children, but I do have some different opinions obviously on these topics, and these topics, like the title says, can be controversial, so please let's just be respectful of everyone's opinions in this video. I'll probably say it a lot, but I don't want to offend anybody with my answers. These are just my answers. These are just what we do with our child and what I plan to do with future children, so I hope you guys understand. So the first topic is, are you pro-life or pro-choice? I am very much so pro-choice. I have always been pro-choice. I used to think that I was pro-life, but then I was like, oh, but it's their decision and it depends on the situation and all that. That's pro-choice. So I am definitely pro-choice. It all depends on the situation. It all depends on the individual. It is not my place to say what the person can do with their child. It's in no way my decision. It is all up to them and what they want to do, so that's why I have always been pro-choice. The next one is baby wearing. I don't know how this can be controversial at all because baby wearing is amazing. I actually look back at it now and I wish that I would have gotten a wrap. We had a baby carrier that I put Avery in, I think twice maybe, but I really wish I would have bought a wrap for her because I would have baby wore the crap out of her, because I see so many people baby wear now and I'm like, I wish I would have done that, because I don't know, we just never thought to do that. We always just either carried her or had her in her car seat in the stroller, so I am all for baby wearing. I wish I would have done it more. This one is circumcision. I actually didn't realize this was such a controversial topic until I started watching people's videos and then reading the comments. I just didn't realize this was such a thing that a lot of people are very opinionated about, and I always thought it was just based on your family's preferences and what the dad was. So for our situation, my family, and then for my husband Brian's family, they have all been circumcised, so we would, if we had a son, circumcise our son, but that's just how our family would do it. I know a lot of different people have different religious views on the topic or just different views in general, and that's totally fine if you choose not to circumcise your child. Again, that is all your choice. I'm not going to be the person to tell you you're wrong, because you're not. You're making that decision for your family, and whatever you think is best is probably best. Adoption. So again, I don't know why this could be controversial. I mean, I kind of understand. I've seen it, I guess, from both sides. I have seen it from someone giving a child up for adoption, and I have also seen it from the side of people adopting children. So I am all for adoption. I think it's a great alternative if you're pro-life but also can't for some reason take care of the child. And I feel like I always refer back to 16 and Pregnant. If you guys have seen Caitlin's story about how they put up their daughter for adoption, Carly, I feel like it made a lot of sense in the situation she was in. It's unfortunate. I mean, it's not unfortunate because it's what worked out best for their family. It's unfortunate, if you watch Teen Mom, the situation they're in now, but that's, their decisions. But I feel like from both ends, it's perfectly wonderful. If you guys watch This Gathered Nest here, or is it The Gathered Nest or This Gathered Nest? Here on YouTube, she is amazing. Angela, or Ange, she has 3 adopted children, and her channel is seriously one of my favorite channels. I've talked about her before, but you can see it then from her side of actually adopting children, and you see all their individual stories, and it's just so sweet. So I am still for adoption. I don't think it's a bad decision at all. However, I do know that there are a lot of children in the adoption agencies and in foster homes right now. My aunt actually is a foster mom, and I've seen a lot of things firsthand from her, which is really, really sad. And I've just seen a lot of stuff. My parents where they work and things like that have been kind of crazy. My stepmom works for DSS, so I've seen a lot of unfortunate situations, but whatever works best for your family is what works best for your family. The next one is baby piercing. I am actually not for baby piercing. A lot of people asked us if we were going to get Avery's ears pierced when she was born, and I have always said no, we're just going to wait, and that's just my personal decision. We have friends who had a baby 2 months after Avery was born, and they pierced her ears. I don't know when, but I know they pierced them when she was an infant, and I mean, they looked so cute on her, and that was their decision. I wasn't going to be like, that's wrong, because that's their decision again. But I just personally am not for it, so we didn't pierce Avery's ears. Breast milk versus formula. Again, I don't think this should really be a controversial topic. I know there are parents out there that are very adamant about one or the other. I personally feel like it is whatever works best for you. I tried to breastfeed Avery. I actually had a lot of issues with it, a lot of things I really hate talking about because it makes me really sad to think about. Unfortunately, I wanted to breastfeed her and just couldn't, and that's just what happened with our family. So after 2 weeks, she was transferred to formula, and obviously she's perfectly fine, but I know there are people that breastfeed for 2 years, and that's amazing, and there are people that just formula feed from the beginning. I think I was formula fed from the beginning, and all of my siblings were formula fed from the beginning, and I think we turned out okay, but I don't think it's really a difference between how they turn out because I don't think there is any real scientific proof behind it, but I could be wrong. I'm sure someone will let me know in the comments, but you know, it's just again what works best for your family. The next is spanking. I am not really for like spanking in the sense of like beating your child. Like, I don't really think that's a form of discipline at all. Like actually beating your child and instilling fear in them, in my opinion, isn't a great form of discipline. I have given Avery pops before where it's like pop on her butt or pop on her hand, but I don't want to instill fear in her. I don't want her to be like, I don't want to go like this and her be like scared and like cower. I don't want that to be a form of discipline, and I don't really like that. So we do pops, we don't do spanking in our house. Co-sleeping, for those of you that know us, you know we are all for co-sleeping. We are still co-sleeping 2.5 years later. We do have plans to move her into her own bed within the next coming months, but we do still co-sleep. I love co-sleeping. I was very against it at first. Brian was the one that put Avery in bed with us at 3 months, and I was like, I can't, I'm nervous, I'm scared. But as a parent, you just know not to roll on your child. You have like that urge to not roll. I feel like I sleep like a board at night. Well, now I don't because she'll sleep all over me. I have feet in my face at night and I just don't even care. But you know, when they're little, you just kind of sleep like a board. But I love co-sleeping. I've always felt very comforted by co-sleeping. I know she feels comforted by co-sleeping. We cuddle every night, and it feels really, really good, and I love it a lot. I'm gonna be sad. I think I'm gonna be more sad than she is when we transfer her to her own bed. The next one is home versus public versus private versus charter schooling. Again, I think this is just something that works best with your family. We do plan on putting Avery in public school. We have, though, been looking into private schools. There are a couple of private schools in this area that I really, 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 really like. So I have been looking into those, but I do personally think we probably will go with the public school option. Again, it's just whatever works best for your family. If you want to homeschool, that's totally you. If you want a private school, charter school, public school, whatever works best for you and your child. Vaccinations, I definitely see why this is controversial. I am studying to get my degree in healthcare administration, and I have taken many a class where I have had to write many a paper on my opinions on vaccinations. I am all for vaccinating your children. I definitely think that is something that should be done. But there's people that do the delay vaccination schedule where they wait till 6 months to start vaccinating. That's all you. I mean, as long as your kid's getting vaccinated, I feel like that's okay. Again, that's one thing I'm pretty set in my ways on. I will always vaccinate my children. If you guys have ever seen the show House, there's like a 5-minute little spiel in there where this woman was like, oh, we didn't vaccinate our child, and he was like, well, you know what else is a good business? Little tiny baby coffins. And that has always kind of resonated with me, and I will always vaccinate my child. Medicating children, this is another one I'm kind of on the fence about. I don't like to give Avery any sort of Tylenol or medication unless she has a very high fever. If she has a low-grade fever, if she's running like a 99, I won't give her any Tylenol, but if she is running a higher fever, I will give her medicine. She's really, really bad about taking any sort of oral medicine, so we always had to give her suppositories, which is kind of unfortunate, but it works. If you guys know Avery, she was in the hospital in November for 4 days due to a lot of different things, but we gave her Tylenol pretty much that whole week because that was the scariest experience of my life, and she had a very high fever. She was running like a 103, and that's the only time I truly think I will give my children medicine. But other than that, I don't think I'll give her any sort of Tylenol for running like a low-grade fever. Next is cloth versus disposable diapers. We personally use disposable diapers. I have looked kind of deeply and researched it a little bit more about cloth diapering, and I kind of wish I may have tried that. But with the situation we're in now with Avery and daycare, daycare and stuff, I don't think there's really any way we could do cloth diapering. Plus, she should be starting potty training here within the next 6 months, so that might have to go out the window soon. But maybe with our next child, I'll research it a little bit more, but right now we are just disposable diapering. And the last one is the cry it out method. I do kind of believe in the cry it out method. We've done it before. We don't do much now because she's pretty good about going to bed on her own, but the cry it out method we did for a little bit. There is kind of like stipulations on it though, at least for me. I don't let them cry all night. If she cried more for 10 minutes, I would go in there and soothe her and then walk away, and then again if she cried for another 10 minutes, I'd go in and soothe until she would fall asleep. I did that for a couple of months, and then she kind of got into the groove of falling asleep on her own, and that was pretty wonderful. So I kind of do attribute that to the cry it out method, but again, it's whatever works best for you. If you want to rock your baby to sleep at night, that is all you. If you want to nurse them till they fall asleep, again, whatever works best for your family. So those were all of the topics. Again, I really don't want to offend anybody. It's just whatever honestly works best for your family. These are just what works best for our little family, and I hope you guys kind of get a little bit more of an understanding of who we are as parents and how we parent. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Go ahead and subscribe to my channel if you're not already, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.